welcome to the Drive to Draw podcast. My name's Pete, once again joined here in the studio with Phil Fechner. Phil, how's your week been?
Couple losses under me belt now, Pete.
What's happened? Mate, you were high as a kite a few weeks ago.
I know.
Flying, and what's happened?
Down to earth. Team's been winning, and I've lost. I only lost on Saturday by 4 or something,
Yep.
And it was a pretty tough day out there at Playford.
Yes, what were the greens speed like?
Yeah.
Still a
okay.
little bit pushy?
Very tracky.
Yep.
Tracky, more
Yep.
than pushy.
Synthetic greens can be a little bit like that. That's totally understandable.
Wasn't too bad under the
dome.
Yeah, so pretty hot day. Today, virtually lost on the last end. I sort of had to go for a hero drive thing, and it's nowhere near it really. But went down a couple in the end. I think I lost by 3 or something. But team got up, but I think we might just miss out on the Wednesday, but sitting second on Saturday, so all looking good. That's
where the focus will be.
Yep.
All right, coming up a little bit later on our episode today, we've got Sammy Denton from the Ascot Park Bowling Club in our 22nd players interview. Really looking forward to that. And last week we had a couple of little technical issues, but we've got the Jaden and Katrina Green interview back up again. It sort of disappeared there for a couple of days. Okay. Yep. So we've reposted that. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. Yep. We'll say it early tonight. If you haven't liked, rate, subscribe, please do so. It helps us with our podcast numbers and obviously helps when it comes to potentially attracting a sponsor or two, maybe for next season. We'll see how we go.
Creek.
There you go. All right, mate. Let's get into Around the Greens.
Around the Greens.
All right, mate, a little bit later on, we'll have a little look through the state singles, obviously the bowls tipping and some tournaments. But to kick us off, let's talk Premier League bowls. It's getting to the pointy end of the season, and there's going to be some interesting results in the run home. It looks like the top 4 will be set. It's just jockeying for positions. But it's probably down the bottom end of the ladder that's going to be very interesting with some of the permutations. Let's go through last week's results,
Okay, mate. We got Hawthorn 65 versus Ascot, so you'll be able to run us into a few more details of this.
I will.
Darren Seagett's 9 to Brett Davis's rank, who the co-host across the way was in, 32. So big win for your rank there, Pete.
It was. Set it up pretty early, and then we went on with it. The change. It's amazing the change of speed in those night games, going from that, that sort of daytime, slight shadowy to the sun completely going down. It's whoever adjusts the quickest. Yeah. That's really what it gets down to. And, we were lucky enough to sort of carry the team in the end. It got tight towards the end. It looked like it was in hand for quite a big part of the night. And then a couple of good bowls from the Hawthorn Bowling Club really tightened things up. So
the rink was Matty Northcott, and who did he play again?
He played against Sammy Dietrich.
That's right, yeah. It was a good game to watch. I watched that. Saw your face on there a couple of times. They scanned across and thought it was the moon coming up.
I was about to say, I was wearing a hat, thank God, not like I am tonight. Obviously, that was we talked about this actually a little bit today, going that as far as the Friday night games going, as far as matchups goes, that was probably the one that you would have wanted to see as far as those guys going head to head. And I think Kathy Miller was leading for Matty Northcott, and every time I look over, Pink Bowls were on the kitty, so she did have a very, very good night. It's going to be interesting. A couple of players missing from both sides, so really at the end of the day, 10 shots isn't a whole lot when you look at it. All right, let's move on.
Okay, we better keep moving on.
This was a surprise, mate.
Well, it was. Grange 80 versus Summit 81. Benny Bowman 12. Josh Studham 29 was the biggest winning rink there. Going to the next game, and it's the side that really needed the win.
Yes.
Oldie 58 versus West Lakes, which we both tipped.
Yes.
80. So it's a pretty substantial win in the end. Fergus Roundtree 11 versus Choppy 28. So a big win there to Chop.
You surprised that the fall away from Holdfast, considering? Is it a case of that they've tried to bring in a couple of marquee players? It's not quite sort of settled. I think that's the key, isn't it, to a lot of clubs? If you can settle your team down pretty early.
You look at the top sides, haven't changed much.
No, one player out here, one player out there. But if you've got 2 or 3, it makes a huge, or if you're jumping rinks, I think that makes a big, big difference. Just going back to the Somerton Grange one, Somerton, a couple of little chinks in the armour starting to show a little bit.
Yeah. Might be a bit of a door opening there for you boys.
Who knows? Well, anybody can win it in that top four at the moment.
Oh, absolutely.
And Westlake's obviously getting the job over Holdfast.
Yep.
We'll talk about this week's games in a minute. Let's move on.
Lockleys, one game to go after this week. 59 to Modbury 102, so a good win there.
Yes.
Ashall 17 to John Nelson 34, so good day out for Johnny's rink.
And Gary Thompson didn't play.
Yeah.
Had the because it was an early start. He had the morning off, and
okay.
That's a great result for Modbury. I think they're tracking pretty well. They did promote a lot of their youth this year on the basis that give them a bit of experience. Their second side probably hasn't performed as well as they would have hoped. So they're in a okay spot, but that almost could have ended in tears as far as that goes. But no, their second half of the year.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to finish about midfield.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Adelaide 82 versus Salisbury 66. Scotty Tholborn 25 over the great man Graham Saw 10. So sorry.
Did you get a phone call?
No, because they lost. So, but we're playing with him Sunday at Newry. Right. So we can
get into him then.
Yeah, we got the drive up with him. So here we go.
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Obviously Adelaide, Scotty, Kobe, Charlie. Rudy, I'm assuming, would have been part of that as well. All drove back basically overnight. They hired a bus after the BPL. Yes, so they arrived, I think, at about 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., and then jumped on the green. And for Scotty to win like that is pretty impressive.
It is. So we'll quickly run through the ladder, Pete. Somerton 14 and 2, Ascot 11 and 5, Adelaide 11 and 5, and Hawthorn 10 and 6. But the interesting part, Pete, is Salisbury 98, Holdy 87, and obviously Lockleys are heading down. So it's going to be just a bit of a tussle there. 2
big weeks to come to decide. What's going to happen there?
I think it'll stay as it is.
I think it will too. That's what I was just about to ask you. Do you think there will be any change?
I don't think there will.
No.
Because Salisbury play Hawthorn and Holdy play Somerton at Somerton.
And then the following week, Holdy play Ascot and Salisbury, I think, just off the top of my head. I'll just double check on that one. Salisbury are going to be playing Grange.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll stay like that, but I've been wrong once before, I think.
Oh,
can't remember
just once? You sure your wife hasn't told you a few more times?
Yeah.
All right, mate, we better move on to round 17 tips.
Okay,
fire
round
away.
17. Lockleys versus Adelaide.
Adelaide for me.
Adelaide for me. Modbury versus Westlake. It's probably the match of the round.
It is the match of the round. I've got it down as match of the round.
Yep.
Modbury for me.
Westlake's for me.
Actually, no, I'm going to change, mate. Westlake.
Pete.
Sorry, mate. I think Westlakes would want to finish the season on a pretty good note, and I think they're playing well enough.
So we've got Somerton versus Holdy, obviously.
Well, I've got this as a little bit of a game of the round, only because Holdfast need a win.
It's not going to happen, though.
I don't think it will either. Somerton for me.
Yep, me too. Salisbury versus Hawthorn at Salisbury.
This could be a good game, but I favour Hawthorn.
Same here. Hawthorn for me. And the last game should be quite a good game. Grange obviously showed a bit last week. Ascot versus Grange.
Ascot for me.
Ascot for me.
Mate, that's round 17. We're flying through this season, mate. Oh. I can't believe we're up to, episode 19 tonight, I think it was.
Really?
So
and we've got one view.
2, I reckon.
2.
But, no, unbelievable
it's been good.
that we've got through to this far and had a little bit of fun. All right, mate, let's move on to Div 1.
Divvy 1, round 16. We had Modbury versus Woodville. I reckon I tipped Woodville here. I thought they might have upset. 75 to 61. John Cooper from Modbury was the biggest losing ring. 9 to Mark Hanrahan, who's Mark's had a very good year.
He has had a good year.
29. So good win there for Mark. Henley, 87 against Paynham, who needed the win. 87 to 52. Gary Shergott, 24, over Aussie Cunningham.
Yep.
5.
And you don't see that very often from Aussie.
That's a big
First thing in the morning, it's an early start. Payneham were good the week before. You sort of gave them half a chance, but no, Henley got them.
Did you? You didn't tip them, did you?
I
tipped Henley.
No, I thought it'd be pretty close. So I reckon I tipped Henley.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Port Noarlunga versus Mills. Always going to be a good game down at Port Noarlunga.
And it was only 4 shots in it.
4 shots, 60-56. Thomas Jolly 16 over Brad Holt 13. So it was all rinks were very, very close.
Absolutely.
It's only three shots up there.
Only 18 ends. It just tightens things up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes.
Those 3 ends make a huge difference.
And this is the one you text me, I think, Saturday night about.
I did. I could not believe it. How many times in sport does this happen?
A couple of times.
Toorak getting up over Marion.
Yep.
Bottom beat top.
Yep. 77 over Marion's. Oh, my notes just about blew away there. 62. Trevor Feast had a good win. It would have been a good game to see. Feasty versus Kenny Hotham, 27-16. So, Toorak, good on him.
2 absolute stalwarts going head to head. There would have been some interesting conversation there between those guys, that's for sure. But congratulations to Toorak. If they can take
Couple
one
wins.
positive out of the year, a couple of wins, but they also got one over the top side.
Yep. And the last game was Somerton 73 versus Tranmere 53 at Somerton. That was Jason Hallows 24 over Graham Young 13 was the biggest winning rink there. Yep. So we'll quickly run into the ladder, keep it going here, Pete.
Yeah, mate.
Marion 14-2, Port Noarlunga 14-2, Somerton 10-5-1, and Millswood 10-6. Again, I'll just go down to the bottom 3.
Yes, mate.
Woodville 88, Payneham 78, and Toorak are heading down. So, and I know the last game, Woodville
v
played
Payneham.
Payneham at Payneham.
Yep.
But, we'll go through this week's rounds quickly.
Absolutely. But before we do that, just looking at the ladder, the top 4 are, you'd have to say, are pretty well locked. I know we've got 2 weeks to go, and Henley have got to make up a lot of ground.
I can't see it.
But let's just look at the shot difference for Marion and Port Noarlunga. Shot difference for Marion, 349.
Yep.
Port Noarlunga, 253. Somerton, 49.
Oh, really?
So there's almost a 200 shot or 300 shot.
Yeah, to Marion.
Marion, and 200 plus
That's
shots to Port
unbelievable.
Noarlunga. So you'd have to favour Port Noarlunga and Marion. Finals are a funny thing. Anything can happen. And like we saw last week, bottom side can beat the top side. Anything can happen.
Absolutely.
But I just thought it'd be interesting to point that out. That's a big shot differential.
Yeah, because, Marion flew out the blocks, so didn't they? They were, 12 and zip.
Yes.
Or something like that, or 11 and zip. So,
absolutely.
Some huge wins. Okay, well, let's go on to round 17, Pete. We've got
mate.
Port Noarlunga versus Somerton. Good
This
game.
is my pretty much your game of the round, but Port Noarlunga for me.
Port Noarlunga at Port Noarlunga too.
Yep.
Millswood versus Payneham.
Millswood for me.
Millswood for me. Woodville versus Henley at Woodville.
I've got this as sort of a bit of a game of the round as well, only because Woodville need the win.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Henley need the win to maybe...
Well, half a little hope
hope there. Henley for me.
Woodville for me at home. Yep.
Well, that'll take the last round, Payneham v Woodville, out of the hands.
But just at home, I think, Mark Hanrahan's in some awesome form. So.
Yep. No, I'll back Henley.
Pardon me. Okay, second last game, Tranmere versus Toorak.
This becomes an interesting game now, doesn't it, really?
Is that Tranmere? That's
Tranmere for me.
Tranmere. Pardon me.
You're right.
And the last game is Marion versus Modbury. Be a good game too.
Be absolutely beautiful, but I'm going to go with Modbury.
Modbury. I'm going
Marion. I'll see if you're on your on your
Marion
toes.
at home, so on the windy
Yes.
Marion Greens down there.
Anything could happen. All right, mate. Let's take a very quick break and look at some hot shots.
Two, 3 times in a row, and you never know.
It looks a very nicely weighted bowl first up from Liam. Don't get much better than that.
All right, mate, we've come to that favourite time. Everyone's been hanging out for the Barossa and Light Association results. And, mate, we're in the business end really with these guys, and we're in the finals. So take it away.
So round 21, that's the final dig for some of these sides.
Yes.
And the first game is final digs for both of them. Freeling 73 versus Udunda 90. So Udunda finished the season with a couple of good wins.
Yes.
Rod Scene 12 to a name that we know, Corey Archie 27, ex-Port Adelaide State fullback.
Yes.
Good Port boy.
Yep. You'd be cock-a-hoop about that. Seen him on the bowling green, wouldn't you?
No, he's a fair bowler too, old Corey, yeah.
That hand-eye coordination doesn't leave you, does it?
No, that's right. Kapunda, under the dome, 70 versus Anguston 82. I did tip Anguston there. Sean Knight got touched up by Liam Buckley. Sean Knight 10, Liam Buckley 32. Liam's rink having a very good year. Lindock, upset here, 63 versus Tanunda 98. So Tanunda finishing with a couple good wins, beating Newry last week. Harry Sykes again, his rink. Talked to Ash Thomas during the week, and I won't tell you what he said. I can't really say it on here.
Well, you can. We can beep it out if it's that bad.
Harry Sykes 12. Keith Ward, so Wardy's got up a good win last game of the season for Tanunda 25.
Yep.
Newry Mount Pleasant came over to Newry. Newry 86, Mount Pleasant 51. So that was their final game. Barry Smith skipping. Lachlan Fuss had another wedding. I think he has a wedding every second week. Barry Smith 27 to David Cook 10. So good win there for Barry.
In 9 months' time, he'll have a baby shower every 2 weeks if there's a lot of weddings going on.
That. He misses that many games.
Yep.
Okay. First semi-final then this week, Pete. So elimination final is Kapunda versus Lindock at Kapunda.
Kapunda for me.
Kapunda for me. Second semi-final is at Anguston, and Anguston host Newry.
Anguston for me.
Anguston for me. Quickly, Pete, I know we'll come to this a bit later on, but Don's Breakfast Sunday, we're both playing in it.
Yes.
So very strong.
Thank you for the invite.
Sunday the 2nd, so that's all. I think it's all full.
Yep.
Brownie's done the draws. Then I'm off to Victor for Monday, Tuesday, the 3rd and 4th. It's a 2-day down there. 2 Wells, I'll just plug them. Smiley will be happy with me. 2 Wells, 18th of April, which is a Friday, Good Friday. And then they've got one the following week, the 25th of April. And just one for Gawler. Gawler's the 16th of March, and I'm actually heading up there with Peter Canala and a couple boys, so should be a good day.
Absolutely. Clubs are getting those tournaments in at the moment, aren't they? Trying to squeeze it in between, you know, state matches and state pairs, state singles, country carnival, finals. So good on the clubs that are actually putting on those events. Yep. All right, mate, we're going to take another very, very quick break. And when we come back after the break, we'll talk some of the state singles and we'll finish off with some extra ends.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe. Interview.
And tonight, joining us on the players' interview is Sammy Denton from the Ascot Park Bowling Club. Mate, thanks for joining us.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me.
Sammy, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. How you going?
Can't complain.
Nice away.
Mate, we'll talk about today's game a little bit later, but Phil's got a couple of questions to get you off the
Sammy,
mark.
where'd you start your bowls? I think I do know, but I'm going to ask you anyhow.
So I started down at Roe Bowling Club, born and bred down in the southeast, so yeah, kicked off there.
Great club too down there, Sammy. I went down a couple of years ago and the boys made me feel most welcome down there. It's probably too welcome. I staggered home after that, but I played their just their social day down there. So
beautiful spot there on the beach on the foreshore.
Club. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
You're
good.
I'm heading up there in a couple of weeks, mate. So can you order some craze for me?
Yeah, get you all set up. Set you up with the boys down there. Baxter will sort you out.
That'll be good.
Get in nice and early. Mate, obviously you started your bowls journey out in the country there. How early was it that you picked up a bowl, and was it because of family or grandparents? It seems to be the common theme running through our guests so far.
So I used to play junior tennis in Kingston, about 40 k's down the road on Saturdays, and they changed that to Friday nights. So we were already going down there for basketball, so sort of made it a bit hard. We didn't have enough at Robe to play tennis. I didn't want to play cricket and stand out in the field. So, Dad was playing bowls, went out and played a few twilight games with a couple of boys from school. Started playing pennants, which was good.
How did you go in your first season, mate? And were you in Dad's team?
No, I was in the Divvy 5, which was the second side and bottom team. The bloke across the road from us where we lived, Richard Salter, I was sort of his protege. He was my skipper. He wouldn't let me go up into the top side. So I played the full year in Divvy 5, and the Div 2 actually won the pennant that year. So missed out on the flag, but no, it was good. It was good fun.
Absolutely.
What a beautiful setup it is. You're sitting down on the beach there. I love it down there. I'm going to throw the bowls in, and not this week, it's next week. So I'm going to head down there with the wife. So I think I'll try and catch up with the boys down there again. But I just love it down there. I tell you what, Sammy, the travel is unbelievable down there, though, isn't it? The where they got to travel to.
Yeah, 100%. Well, for us at Robe, I think our furthest game was Port Mac, which is about 2 hours 15, I reckon.
It's unbelievable. We think we've got it bad here in the city if we're going to go across the city, but I just couldn't believe it. They were organising breakfast, then we'll have lunch at the Bowls Club or whatever they were going to do, play, and then on the way home we'll stop at a pub for tea. It was the full day, so it must have been the furthest away. I'm not too sure what that is, but it was unbelievable.
But you sort of get used to it because, even same with footy, our closest game was an hour. So,
really,
it's just something you get used to. But as you said, you sort of plan the whole day out. If you go to somewhere like Francis, again, I think it's 2 hours. Have a nice pub there, go there for lunch, have a few beers, and then play, have tea, and go home.
That's what country bowls is all about, isn't it? And it's a good little breeding ground. And we've just had obviously the country carnival here in the city and saw some pretty good bowls along the way. Did you catch up with a few people that you knew from back home?
Always use that period to catch up with the boys. A few of them come out and watch us play Lockleys on the Saturday. They're normally up for the week of country week and then round robin. So, great opportunity to catch up and go watch them, see if they're still throwing them down all right.
Was there a few in for the prawn day at Ascot that weekend?
No, they didn't. I tried to get a few in, but they had to play pennants on Saturday, so It was a bit too quick. Played pennants, and then some of them Mount Gambier 5-hour drive up. Just a bit too hard, unfortunately.
It happens.
How's the new boy settling in down there at Ascot, Sammy?
Oh, Alfie. He's going all right.
Going all right?
He's going all right. Yeah, throwing a few close.
He tells me he is. So.
He's going good. He's playing his role. He's going all right. So
that's all you got to do, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Simple game, mate. Simple game.
It is. Mate, obviously you started your bowls out in the country. When did you get a little bit of a taste of sort of coming down to the city and playing here in Adelaide?
So I was, I don't know how old I was, 14, 15 maybe. And it was my first country week and round robin. And I got picked in the round robin side. Lucky enough to play with Pete Mueller. I think he's might be third or fifth most games for SA. He just stepped down to state selector. He got me in the side and I led in his rank. Played pretty good at round robin. And that was back when they used to have the Schroeder Shield. So for the Prestige medley, Saturday would be City versus Country. And they'd go into Sunday, Monday Prestige. So I actually got picked in the countryside, which I wasn't expecting, being 14 years old and never been to it before. And that was at Victor Harbour. So I played against all the state boys. I led for Dwayne Edwards, Scooby, and played sort of Maxi Kleinig. And it was the first time I sort of come across those boys and sort of the opportunity to come to Adelaide.
First club down here?
It was Holdfast. So
Holdfast, okay.
Yeah, meet Maxi and that. I think it was just after the Prestige, we had the high school singles there when they used to have that. I don't know if they still have it or not. Spoke to Maxi again there. And they sort of poached me and Joshy Studham to come from the country that year. Yeah, so that's how I got my first opportunity in Adelaide at Holdy.
Mate, it's always good to be, I suppose, headhunted to come and play from the country down to the city. What were your first thoughts in your first couple of pennant games? Was the standard obviously that next level up, and how did you handle it?
Yeah, no, I loved it. My first ever Premier League game was out at Gawler, so I jumped on the bus and cruised on out there. But no, it was good. It was a bit of an eye opener, and obviously being a young fella and you're leading, you try and get shot every bowl, or you try and draw it close. But as you learn now, you just get them in the area, get them within a yard, get them past. Once sort of got taught that, it sort of really simplified the game down. Sort of felt like I fit into Premier League sort of pretty steadily as a junior, so it was good.
What about club championships or state championships or whatever? Any of those under your belt?
Won my first robe singles. I was 13, I reckon, my second year of bowls. Got that. So won a few pairs with Dad down there, and we won the first year at Holdfast. Me and the old man won the club pairs there, but struck out in everything ever since. So I'm hoping I'm in the pairs with the Deets in the next couple of weeks. So fingers crossed I can get my first tole at Ascot. Would be nice.
Mate, also state pairs this year. You and Mitchie have been going at it for a few years. You got through your section, didn't you? Which was the one that you'd been sort of hoping for the last few years.
Yeah. I think we played, I don't know what it would be now, 6 or 7 years, I reckon. And we never won our section. So we finally got out of our section. We got Blackie and Jono. So that'd be good to run into. But we always sort of said the one day we'll finally get out of our section. Hopefully it's only once and it's the year we win it. But it's always great playing with your mates. And as you said, state events, we've got 3 state titles now. Mm-hmm. So won the triples last year. There's nothing better than playing with your best mates, chucking a few down, having a good time in the state events, and snag a couple of trophies. Always nice.
Absolutely, mate. You obviously started out at Holdfast. Did I see that you had a little stint at West Lakes as well?
I had a year at West Lakes. So won I think it might have been 2018. It was the second of their three-peat. So Coolsey and that sort of moved on to there and went to play with Coolsey. Lucky enough, snagged a Premier League pennant. Playing on the mat, had a pretty steady rink with I led Bremner. Aaron Bremner was 2, Steve Dennis 3, and Jimmy Gregory skipped it. So it's pretty good year. Yeah, that was pretty good fun.
What about state? Any state representatives like under 18s or anything of that?
I played 2 under 18 series, Vic Test, and then it was in my last year under 18s, and then got the call up for the Nationals. So played an under 18 series at Tuggeranong in Canberra. We got a bronze medal in the triples there, which was good, with James Bodner and Garen Jenke. This year got my state men's side cap and debut, which was a pretty proud moment. Been a long grind, so that was good.
What age are you now, mate? Can I ask that?
26.
26?
26. Everyone comes up to me and go, "Oh, you're 30, 33," but I've been around for a while. But
they say
still
that to me
26.
too, mate. They're 33, and I said, "No, I'm a bit older than that."
Yeah, young buck like you.
Yeah, I wish.
Mate, obviously after West Lakes there, moving on to Ascot, is that correct?
Yeah, I went to Ascot after West Lakes, yeah.
Who got you to Ascot?
So Dad was already there, and I was already working there doing my apprenticeship greenkeeping. But that's when Andrew Smith just got back into the game. So sort of got to know Smithy in his first half a season back. And that was the year they got relegated to Div 1. So sort of caught up with Smithy, had a chat, and obviously expressed my goals and that. And he sort of put his hand up to take me under his wing, be my mentor. Went to Ascot, and he played 3 for me for probably 3 years, I think. So been there ever since. Yeah, no, he's very good. Very good.
So, is Mum and Dad moved over this way, or?
So Mum and Dad, when Mum moved up, she's been here for a while. I think she was here a year before Dad, but they've probably been here 5 or 6 years maybe. Dad sold up the fishing license. Mum and Dad had the real estate down there too. So, they sort of, Dad's body was a bit battered around since crayfishing since he was sort of 14, 15. So, they've been here for about, probably 5 years, I think.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
It was like you said, Dad's at Ascot with you and so I gather they moved down. He's got a long drive every Saturday otherwise.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a good 3.5 hour hike like the early Holdy does.
Yeah.
Mate, you mentioned just a minute ago your debut for the state this year. Just take us through the process and who informed you and how that came about. Obviously, the trials were on, what was it, back in October, November, and then things die off for a little bit over that winter period, and then, we get the announcements come through. But how did you find out, and, who told you?
Well, it was a bit funny actually because we were over in Melbourne for our annual SA Victorian Cross Border Challenge. So we were on the piss playing golf, and I think I had a missed call. I think Isaac might have rang me, and then Perce actually rang me, and I answered the phone, and I hadn't seen the email yet. So he was the one to actually tell me that I had the call up because they just sent out an email. Don't get a call from. Didn't get a call from anyone to let me know. I quickly hung up from that, had a look, and got the debut, which was good.
Did it end up being a bigger day after you got that news?
Yeah, we kept kicking on. It's normally a pretty big trip anyway with the Victorian greenkeepers. So, but it was just a little cherry on top, which was good.
And how'd you perform over there, mate? You can be honest here.
Played. Threw down a few bad ones, threw down some good ones. Probably got more consistent as it went on. Played a howler against NT. I think our whole rink struggled, and it was the Scotty T show on the show green there. The wind was swirling around, and it was hard work. But I would have liked to be in a bit better, but I think everyone was sort of in the same boat. It was a really tricky conditions. Everyone played good games, everyone played bad games. But no, it was good just to get amongst it and get that experience. So fingers crossed we can go again.
That's bowls, isn't it? Really. What was it like also for Rudy's 400th? You obviously would have been part of those sort of celebrations, and it's a magnificent milestone.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it was pretty special the first series to be a part of that, and I think even just. Looking at all the other bowlers from the other states and the respect that he has from all of them, we here in SA we sort of look at all the other states and all the guns that they have, but to see the wider bowls community and all those guns sort of come in and they had a quick talk for Rudy when he broke the record and that. It was good, and Rudy put on a clinic in his 400th and his record breaker, so little cherry on the top for him for that.
But even a bigger moment surely was Stewie Forbes' debut, wouldn't it?
He
would have made it bigger, wouldn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Up and about, throwing a few down the old beaker.
We got the Mayor of Newry and the Mayor of Ascot head to head. That'd be a draw off maybe for a couple of $100 there, Sammy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. It'd be nice. Throw a few down.
Mate, how have you been going this year? Obviously. I've been a little bit privy to probably the last 6 or 7, 8 weeks, but as a whole, this season, how have you felt that you've been going?
I think I've actually had a pretty good year so far. So started playing 3 to Seamus, Curtin, and he was away for a few New Zealand things. Skipped for a few weeks and lost a few close ones, won a couple of close ones, but the last sort of 8 weeks been playing 3 to Perth, which we got a pretty good record together. We lost the last couple. But, I think, probably the last few years matured my game a bit and also myself. You sort of, I'm happy to go back, play 3 to Mitchie. I back him to play everything. So my job's easy, just try and get him close and make the game easier for him to take all the glory. So, no, pretty confident with how I've been going this year. So happy with the form at the moment. So it's good.
And a great bloke too, old Mitch. I played with him at Paynham for a few years and just loved playing with him, and he's a great bloke.
Yeah, no, he's an absolute ripper. Not many better than him on the bowl screen.
I agree.
Now, mate, do you want to take us through today's last bowl? What did you do, mate? Let the listeners in.
Oh, we just played the hopper. I was 2 down. We're 1 up on the card, 2 down on the head, and I just had to feather a little backhand down. Maximum result was getting a bowl through the jack out to the side, but it's 2 bowls tight and got their second wood and back after the kitty for 2. So I was never in doubt. Confident.
No, it never looked like in doubt either, but I didn't see that result happening, and it sort of rattled around beautifully and sat right next to your 2 bowls. So, no, well played, mate. It was good to see. Obviously, you mentioned a little bit earlier there too that you're a greenskeeper. How did you sort of get into that, and was it always a little bit of a passion, or does it just sort of come hand in hand with the bowls?
Yeah, so with Dad being on the cray boat, he always said if you were going to go work on the boat, you had to get a trade under your belt first in case the fishing wasn't there. So coming up, playing Adelaide, getting close with Maxie, used to go down and help him roll on weekends. I did my work experience there in July, which was good fun. I think I was there from 7 till 10 and knocked off and went around with the teachers looking at the other kids at work. So that was pretty cruisy. But tried to get an apprenticeship at Holdie, which didn't work out. And then that first year up here, played Ascot. We lost to Ascot in the grand final, so played against Nigel Ryan a few times. And reached out to him for an apprenticeship. And luckily he was hiring and put on 4 apprentices that year. So it all happened pretty quickly. Left school halfway through year 11. And sort of within a month of reaching out, I was moved to Adelaide, 16 years old, without a driver's license. So,
still a greenkeeper now?
Yeah, still greenkeeper. Yeah, still hanging in there.
What are you doing now?
Just doing Westlake, so the bowls and the croquet club.
Okay.
And then this year, just been helping Nige at Prospect Broadview, doing the cutting there. So
keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, listen to the whinging. Couple of complaints on the rare, but it's not too bad. But goes all right.
Mate, what bowls are you using?
I got Taylor GTRs.
I thought you'd know that, Pete.
Oh, I knew it, Taylor's. They're bright yellow things that stand out, and when he plays a good bowl, they're sitting right next to the kitty, so it's always pretty good. Mate, couple of fun questions to finish us off tonight, and before we do that, obviously, Dad listens to the podcast. He often gives me plenty of feedback, so better give him a bit of a shout-out. But Mum and Dad obviously involved with the bowls. How special is that to have them both basically playing with you at various stages throughout the last year or year and a half?
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty special. Mum was never going to play bowls, but she ended up coming out for a game, and she's improved a lot over the last sort of 2-3 years. She played up in the Premier League last year after Mitchie broke his hand. Was lucky enough. Our rink was Mum and the mat, Dad at 2 with Bothy at 3. So it's pretty cool. And playing with Dad, it's always good fun. So get stuck into him, he bites back, which is always makes it entertaining.
So he's in your rink?
Yeah. So we got Smithy on the mat, Dad's 2, I'm 3, and Purser's skip. So
that's a pretty handy rink. Exactly right. Mate, as we do with most of us, we like to have a little bit of fun to finish off here, but let's have a look at a few questions here. Most underrated player this year at Ascot Park?
Probably, well, he's not underrated with us, but I think Tony Trelaw is a very, very steady player, sort of goes under the radar, quiet bloke. Always back him to draw shot or draw you out of trouble. Good
call. Played with Tony a couple of times this year, and I've seen it firsthand where he's just got us out of the...
Played with him at Paynham too, so he was very handy there.
I played him in a semi-final out at Paynham, and we had a absolute battle, but just that experience is just valuable, isn't it? Who is Ascot's main rival in Premier League? Who do you think it is?
Don't know really. We always have pretty close games against Somerton majority of the time, but I don't know if there's a rivalry there as such. We've had we sort of, when we come back up from Div 1, we come up with Lockleys, and we've had a couple of interesting games against them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we sort of have a rival as such, but we always sort of have good tussles with Somerton.
Thought it would have been Salisbury.
Oh, Salisbury. Only on the early starts.
Who brings the most energy to the team or the club as a whole?
I think to the team playing a pennant game, or Joshy Gibbs, you can probably hear him 4 clubs away. He's always up and about and pretty rowdy, but probably for the club, I think probably is Smithy. Sort of, he does the bar, his club coach. I think he's got a lot of respect around the club and even around bowls. So, sort of every word he says, a lot of people sort of hang off every word he says. So, probably Smithy for the sort of club wise.
Fair call. Your favourite away club to play at? We'll do it first in SA, and I know that you've travelled a little bit for bowls. We'll start in SA, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know really. Probably don't have one in SA. I'm a pretty simple bloke. I just rock up and throw them down. Hope it's not too bad. But I don't know if I'd have a sort of favourite club in SA.
What about...
Probably Granger's always nice. Granger's always good there. So
do you like them quicker or slower?
I'm not really that fussed. No. Yeah, I don't have a preference really.
No, fair enough.
As long as it works on the day.
Yeah, exactly. Who in the team is known for the most accurate and powerful drives?
Can you mention Pete
probably.
somewhere?
Pete.
Trying here.
We get him run some kiddies on the weekend. We give him a look in.
I reckon it'd probably have to be Dieter, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Dietz or Purse's backhand only. He's got no forehand runner, so. But Dieter can launch him, that's for sure.
That might get back to Perth this weekend. We'll see how we go.
He'll be right.
Absolutely. Who is the GOAT of Ascot, past or present?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Stocky's been there for a while. Sort of played on and off the last few years. Mm-hmm. But had some pretty good players there over the years. But I don't know who we could crown the GOAT.
Smithy'd probably be up there. I know we've already mentioned him, but
yeah,
certainly even leading at the mat is a luxury that most clubs would love.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's mention Cole Harvey though.
Oh yeah, Harv's been there for a while. Yeah, Harv
played well.
He still goes pretty steady on Harv.
Yeah, he's pretty handy.
You're all square on the last end, and you could give the bowl to one player to play that bowl. Who's winning it for you? And we'll choose somebody at Ascot and also anywhere in Australia or worldwide, a player.
Probably go Mitchie Purse for Ascot, and worldwide probably Alex Marshall, one of those boys. I'm sure they're all got it, but yeah, Marshall's is a superstar.
You trying to pump Purse up here a little bit? You guys have got what?
Yeah,
club pairs in maybe a week or so's time, and you've got state pairs in a couple of weeks' time as well.
Yeah, try to get him some confidence. He needs a little bit after the last few weeks, but he'll be right.
He'll come out firing this week. All right, mate, last question to get you out of here on this one. A bit of fun. Lastly, if an actor is to play you in a movie or a TV show, who would it be, and what's the movie name?
Probably go to actor John Cena. I love John Cena from his wrestling days and now acting.
Yep.
And I don't know what the movie would be called. Something.
That's right. We'll throw it out there for the listeners.
Poke the Pope. That could be taken as a bit of a different film, but
it's all good. Absolutely. Mate, thanks for joining us tonight on the 22nd end and just giving us a little bit of insight into, your bowls journey and how it's all going and the obviously state representation last year, and you'll be hoping that this year Ascot make the finals on Wednesday with one game to go. It's going to be pretty tight, but Saturday is probably the main event here, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yes, fingers crossed. Get some good results over the next month or so, but it should be good either way. We'll give it a red hot crack, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All the best, Sammy.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Enjoy the trip down the road.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, boys.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe.
And we thank Sammy Denton there for the 22nd End Players interview. That was fantastic tonight. I know we did probably stretch it out a little bit there. Pete won't be happy, but
we've lost Peter. Yep.
It's all good. One or two other listeners will certainly enjoy the interview. All right, mate. Let's get into the extra ends. All right, let's kick it off with the state singles being played on the weekend. 54 sections were in the men's, and I think it was 18 sections in the women's. No real big surprises. We should have actually asked Sammy about this. He was in sort of the group of death. I think he had Michael Lodge and Darren Niblett, both from Hawthorn.
Okay.
And all three matches were pretty good, with Lodgey just getting up over the line there in the state singles. But really, yeah, no real surprises that jumped off the page for us to really talk about there. Yep. Good luck to the players that are playing in knockouts this weekend. Should be a reasonable weekend to play.
Pete, do you know?
I think there's some being played at Brighton, Beaumont, or maybe Brighton on the weekend, but Beaumont, yeah, there's a few around the place.
No, sorry, I threw that on you.
No, all good, mate. Should have had that one all ready to go. Bowls tipping, the Friday games are all finished now, so you've got that extra day to scout your teams. Don't listen to our tips.
Just listen to our podcast.
Exactly right. Absolutely love it. So get those tips in. It's getting to the business end. I know I've got a double power play, double results to try and play in the next couple of weeks to at least put me in a good position. I think I might have buggered up on that week where I thought I'd submitted my tips and I got all the away teams.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't help. But anyway, it happens. These things happen. Let's move on to tournaments.
Tournaments, Pete. We've got Glenelg Medley, Sunday the 5th of April, 9:30 for 10 a.m. start. $100 a team, $1,800 prize money.
Yes.
Sumden Dixie Dunbar's 5th of April, 9 for a 9:30 start, $140 a team, and $3,000 for the prize money.
I played in the Dixie Dunbar once before, and it's a good little event. Always put on a good event down there at Somerton. So.
Yep.
Best of luck. And as you mentioned earlier, there's some
some
events,
of the countries and Gawler as well. And
we try to cover as many as we possibly can. All right, let's move on. BPL Cup venues haven't changed. Moonta, Boolaroo, Berry, Torrensville, Kapunda, Salisbury, Mount Gambier, Port Augusta. As we say every week, we'll update you as we know. But congratulations go in the BPL to the Adelaide Pioneers.
Yep.
Finishing in fourth place. Maybe in a little hurry to get back to Adelaide for Saturday pennants, but no, they absolutely played very, very well through the tournament. They were basically one shot away from almost finishing second after the minor round, and shot didn't quite go their way, and Blackie was actually the one who, I think, moved the kitty and then dead drew it to take the game away from Adelaide on that occasion, but... they got up over Tweed in the first game, and we all know the quality of Tweed with Aaron Tees, Corey Wedlock, and Chloe Stewart. Some absolute gun bowlers there, but Adelaide were able to match it. Great experience for the juniors. They didn't quite get the results they would have liked with Charlie, Kobe, and Ander. But a good little event. So next time round, if they do play in this event, we will be better placed.
All better
I think.
for it.
Exactly right. All right, let's move on to some national events. The Sydney 100,000K Master sides have been announced, and there's some quality players. If you haven't seen it, go on to the Cabra Bowls, I believe it is, Cabra Bowls Facebook page. It has it all up there. They're hosting the event there. Some absolute gun players have put their name up, obviously, for this event. but SA's got a team representing from Holdfast.
Oh, okay. There you go.
We've got Damon Edmonds, Fergus Roundtree, Harrison Gitter-Johnson, and Tristan Griffith, obviously representing SA. But it's certainly the creme de la creme. Aaron Sheriff, Aaron Wilson, Blake Nan, Nathan Black, Ryan Bester, Ben Twist. Just to name a few, I could probably go on here, but some absolute gun players there. So best of luck to the SA boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be a great event. All right, let's. That's the 3rd to the 6th of March. If you're watching, you want to watch it, it's on the YouTube channel of the Gold Coast Tweed live feed. Those guys do a really, really good job.
Yep.
Actually played against one of the guys who commentates and I think owns a lot of the equipment there.
Okay.
2-3 years ago at the Australian Open, had great conversation with him. So those guys will be going along pretty well. So if you want to see some quality bowls and bowlers, jump on the live stream there. All right, mate, let's finish off with a couple of quick questions. Wednesday bowls, stop or no stop for lunch? What's your call, mate?
After today, mate, no stop. I can tell you that.
It did feel a bit that way.
We went to sleep. Absolutely to sleep. Look, I still, I mean, there's, what would you say, the majority are a little bit older bowlers on the Wednesday. It's the retired boys. And perhaps they, especially on a day, it's pretty hot today. And they probably look forward to the, for me, I'd rather probably keep going, have a sandwich or whatever afterwards. And I mean, at Toorak at the moment, if you get quite a crowd there, the raffle can take a half an hour.
Yes.
To get sold and then drawn. And so I'd rather keep going.
Yes.
And have something at the end, perhaps.
No.
And but for the older guys, I guess it's a bit of a breath. And
fair enough. Should the calendar be shortened? A little bit of a later start, potentially? I mean, we're getting into the time of year, and we did touch on it a little bit with Sammy there, that greens get better at this time of the year, obviously for finals, but it's really those 3 or 4 weeks after the finals that they actually play at their best. Maybe starting the season a couple of weeks later could assist with that?
I'd rather not, but I agree with the greens. But
they are struggling a little bit at the moment.
You start kicking into the footy season, and I mean, I'm a member at Port, and I like going to see. You pay good money to go and see that, and you miss a few games if it goes any later, and it overlaps with country footy, and you go into other sports. So
we're still sort of bound by that.
I think you have to
Summer-winter sports.
I think so. I think it is.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, I know most of us do our trials in when the grand finals are.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and generally make a club day of it. Does the calendar need to be shortened or just reduced? A couple of double headers somewhere in there.
Yeah, I reckon.
Just help that a little bit. I know it's a big workload, and the players that need that little bit of time off. But the greens are struggling a little bit at the moment in some places. Just having that little bit of a later start, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, just throwing it out there.
Later start's okay, but don't finish any later.
Yes.
That's all.
Fair call. All right, mate, we better wind things up. Well, since Pete's not listening, we don't have to do any better.
He did last week. He told me he loved the interview with Kat and Jaden and a little bit of Noah.
Yes.
I do have to make an apology, though, because I said it was Brad Jansen at our side, and I know Brad Jansen.
Yes, at West Lakes.
West Lakes
yes,
now.
It was at Lockley's,
Brad Joseph.
Right.
From Walkerville Bowling Club, and he listens to it every Saturday morning driving to bowls. So I'm not sure where he lives. He's about half an hour away.
Well, we know we've got a couple of boys who have told me they listen on a Friday on the way home from work. So we've got a couple on Saturday morning. We're up maybe 5 listeners now. Loving it. We said at the beginning of the episode, like, rate, subscribe, pass it on to your friends, share with them as well. Mate, we'll do better than this next week.
And I don't know how.
We're leading into the finals. Best of luck to everybody this week.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Sammy Denton for joining us today on the podcast.
Don't forget my craze.
22nd in there. And we've got to tee somebody up for next week now, leading into the finals. We might get a couple of teams that are heading towards the finals there. See how we go.
Could be.
Absolutely, mate.
Okay, Pete.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you to everyone.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.